Before we get started with the video, I'd like to thank my amazing patrons for their ongoing support. If you'd like to join my Patreon, simply click the link below for all the available tiers and perks that I have to offer. When it comes to the projected first overall pick for the NHL entry draft next year, there's no question that Gavin McKenna will be it. The 17-year-old has been dazzling NHL scouts and spectators alike with his natural agility and skating abilities. However, while a lot has been spoken regarding his game, in this video, we're going to go over a handful of facts about McKenna that you probably didn't know. But before we do, if you're not subscribed to my channel, I'd love it if you could hit the subscribe button. And with that, here are 5 facts about Gavin McKenna that you probably didn't know. The 2019 NHL entry draft seems like it happened just yesterday. The obvious story was the Jack Hughes versus Kaapo Kakko saga. However, as the picks were decided one by the time the 7th choice was made, an interesting accomplishment came about. The Yukon, which is a Canadian territory, was able to produce a pick within the first round in Dylan Cozens. And while this was obviously groundbreaking for residents that live in the northwestern part of Canada, this was only the beginning. Just a few years later in 2022, McKenna was drafted first overall by the WHL. He was only 14 at the time, which is pretty rare, but the fact that he was from the Yukon put him into his own category, as prior to McKenna, there had never been a player from the Yukon drafted first overall by the Western Hockey League. Interestingly, Gavin and Dylan's younger brother Luke have the same trainer, Ben McPherson, and they've been friends pretty much since they've been skating. One thing's for certain, in case Cozens hasn't put Yukon on the map hockey-wise yet, McKenna is in line to do just that. As is typically the case, Gavin wasn't the first one to play hockey in his family. His father Willie and mother Crystal also played hockey. Therefore, when Gavin yearned to perfect his craft on his family's property, his parents were more than accommodating. And similarly to Sidney Crosby's family home, nothing was safe in the basement. We kind of just left it open for him, and the walls got pretty damaged from him shooting balls and pucks and stuff at the nets, recalls Gavin's father. And when he wasn't practicing inside during the summer, Gavin was out on the backyard rinks that his father constructed for him every winter. And according to an article that I'll link below, he was even out on it in negative temperatures. My dad obviously put lots of hours into building it, so I would have to repay him by spending hours on the ice too, Gavin recalls. While it's probably just logic to theorize that McKenna and Connor Bedard must be related by blood due to their talents, but surprisingly, that's not the case. Actually, the two are cousins only through marriage and in a distant way. And they didn't really see each other growing up either, considering that they lived 2,500 kilometers apart from one another. However, that didn't stop Gavin from capitalizing on the potential guidance that he could receive from someone who had forged a similar path. According to an article from NHL.com, prior to capturing the Gretzky Cup last year for Canada, McKenna sought out some experience from Bedard. I asked him before this tournament how he dealt with pressure going into big tournaments, McKenna said. He kind of just said to play my game and don't let outside stuff get to me. He's the best playing under pressure, and he's shown it so many times. I think that was the right guy to go to, and he helped me a lot, Gavin recalled. Now obviously Gavin's skill sets him apart from his peers and is the main reason we're talking about him today. But he's especially unique due to his Indigenous heritage. Gavin is a proud member of the First Nation and wants to hold on to the traditions of his people. And to prove just that, he proudly adorned a vest that his grandmother made for him during the 2025 World Junior Championships. The vest itself displayed a wolf patch on the back side, which signified Gavin's Wolf Clan heritage. And if and when he's drafted first overall in the 2026 NHL entry draft, he will be the first Indigenous player in NHL history to be taken first overall. It's no surprise that Gavin has broken records considering that he's garnered so much attention already. The most impressive record that he set thus far was the one he broke while in the Canadian Hockey League. McKenna managed to hold a 51-game point streak that began in the regular season and carried on into the playoffs. Upon reaching the 51-game threshold, he surpassed Alexander Radulov's former record of 50 games that was set throughout the 2005-2006 campaign. This held up as the longest point streak ever recorded in the league's modern era. In conclusion, it's going to be pretty exciting to see just how far this prospect will go once he begins his NHL career. Again, if this is your first time watching my content, I'd appreciate it if you could hit the subscribe button for more NHL-themed content. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see y'all next time.